Today we will start with magnetic field pattern due to straight current carrying conductor. As we have discussed that Oersted scientist explained that current has a magnetic effect. So today we will study that if we have a straight current carrying conductor, then how the pattern of the magnetic field produced is exist. If we have a straight current carrying conductor, the magnetic field produced is circular in shape, and the direction of the magnetic field produced can be determined by the right hand thumb rule. Now, the magnetic field produced can be depicted by the figure shown below. It represents the key. This is cell having negative and positive terminal as. Now, if the current is flowing from positive to negative direction, now this red colored line shows the magnetic field produced by a straight current carrying conductor AB. So we can see that if we have a straight current carrying conductor AB, it is producing a magnetic field which is circular in shape, and its direction can be easily determined by using right hand thumb rule. And according to right hand thumb rule, thumb always point towards the direction, while the curling fingers point or tells the direction of the magnetic field. The magnetic field produced in this case depends upon various factors. The first factor on which the magnetic field depends is current, which is flowing through the conductor. The strength of the magnetic field produced is directly proportional to the current flowing through the conductor. Means if we increase the current in the conductor, it increases the magnetic field produced. Next factor on which the magnetic field depends is the distance between the conductor and the magnetic field produced. Magnetic field is inversely proportional to the distance. It implies if we increase the distance, the magnetic field will reduce. Now, if we take a circular current carrying conductor instead of a straight, then the magnetic field produced will again proportional to the current, but here R represents the radius of the circular current carrying conductor. So, in case of circular current carrying conductor, R stands for the radius of the wire. And in case of circular current carrying conductor, the magnetic field produced at center is straight. Now we will discuss about the magnetic field due to a solenoid carrying a current. If we have a conducting wire which is wounded in the form of cylindrical coil whose diameter is less in comparison to its length, then such a coil is termed as a solenoid. Solenoid looks like a helical coil of a wire. The figure below depicts the magnetic field in a solenoid. These lines represents the magnetic lines of forces which are moving from north to south. This figure shows that magnetic field lines in a solenoid through which a current is passed. So the magnetic field produced in this case is very similar to that of the magnetic field produced in the case of bar magnet. The lines of forces inside the solenoid which are near or parallel to the axis of the solenoid are straight, while a strong magnetic field can be obtained if we increase the current which is passing through the solenoid. The magnetic field can also be increased if the soft core iron which we have taken is kept along the axis of the solenoid. The current flowing through the solenoid can be used to determine the polarity of a bar magnet which we are using. To determine the polarity, we use clock rule. According to clock rule, when the current is flowing in the anti-clockwise direction, it marks the north polarity of a bar magnet. While clockwise direction of current marks the south polarity of a bar magnet. Now, the magnetic field produced in this case also depends on various factors. First factors are First factor is the number of turns which we have given in the solenoid. Magnetic field is directly proportional to N. Means if we increase the number of turns per unit length, in the case of solenoid, it increases the strength of the magnetic field produced. Next, it depends on the strength of the current. Means if we increase the current, it increases the strength of the magnetic field produced. And last is the nature of the core material. Means the material which we have taken, on which we have wound the wires, is the core material. If it also depends upon that core material. Most commonly used core material is soft core of iron. Now we will discuss about the electromagnets. Electromagnets are commonly used in loudspeakers, electric motors, and the most commonly used, which we are very familiar, is electric bell. Now we will see that how the electromagnets are designed and how they work. The figure below will depict about the electromagnet and its working. When the current flows through this coil of a wire, then the coil behaves like a magnet, because the current flowing will produce a magnetic field, and due to the presence of magnetic field, this coil will behave like a magnet. This current carrying coil has north pole and south pole, so it acts like a magnet. So such a magnet is known as an electromagnet. The strength of an electromagnet depends upon the number of turns in a coil and the current flowing through the coil. Now we will discuss about how we can use these electromagnets. First, we are using them in the devices like electric bell, electric fan, electric motor, etc. We can also use them to lift heavy objects. For example, like heavy machines, heavy graders, etc. And last, we can use them to separate magnetic and non-magnetic substances. They are used because as they are magnet, so they will attract the magnetic substances. So by the force of attraction which is exposed to them, they can be separated from non-magnetic substances. For example, if we have a mixture of iron and steel, by using electromagnet, we can separate iron and steel. Now we will discuss that how electromagnet can be used in the electric belts. The figure below will depict about the circuit of the electric bell. The figure depicts about the structure of the electric bell. This sphere-like structure is known as the gong. Near gong we have hammer. Then this coil-like structure is known as armature. This is key. And this red colored structure is known as interrupter. As soon as we press the switch of the electric bell, the current flows through the coil. And when the current flows, the current in the coil produces the magnetic field, which magnetizes the iron strip inside it. Due to its magnetism, the hammer comes in contact with the gong, and as soon as they come in contact, the sound is produced which we hear. This is how the electric bell works. But due to the displacement of the iron strip from its original position, it loses the contact with the contact screw, due to which the circuit of the electromagnet breaks up and the current stops flowing. And when there is no current, there is no resultant magnetic field, and the hammer does not strike with a gong. This is the entire process which is played when we switch on or when we push the switch of the electric bell. Now we will discuss about electromagnetic induction. This process is given by Faraday. He told that what we have studied till now is that every time current is producing the magnetic field. But he told that the magnetic field can also produce current in a conductor. So in this method, we will see that how the magnetic field can produce a current in the conductor. The figure below depicts the electromagnetic induction process. It represents a coil of a wire. It represents magnet, and it represents galvanometer. Galvanometer is a device which shows the deflection whenever there is a current in the circuit. By this figure, we can see that when the magnet was inserted in this coil, the galvanometer is showing the deflection towards the left hand side. But as we change the polarity of this magnet, means if we insert it like north pole is changed to south and south to north, then the deflection of the galvanometer is towards the right hand side. It implies whenever we are changing the direction or whenever we are changing the position of a magnet, the deflection in the galvanometer is also changing. Hence, we conclude that whenever there is a change in the magnetic field, the current is induced in a coil of a wire. This is a process which is termed as electromagnetic induction. Again, there are few factors on which the current which is induced depends. They are factors. First factor is number of turns in the coil. Second factor is the strength of the magnet which we have taken. And last, the speed of the magnet, means when we are changing the polarity of a magnet, we must be changing with some speed. It also depends that how fast we are changing the magnet or how fast we are moving the magnet in the coil. Now we will discuss about the last topic of this chapter, that is electric generators. As its name suggests, generators, that we must be generating something from these devices. But we do not generate anything by using these devices. It is a device which is used for the conversion of energy. Means there is a simple conversion of energy which is taking place inside this device. It is also termed as dynamo. The conversion of energy which is taking place inside this generator is the mechanical energy is converted into the electrical energy. And the principle of this generator is the phenomena of electromagnetic induction, which we have discussed just now. There are two types of generators. First is AC and other is DC generator. The device which produces alternating current, that is AC, is known as the AC generator, while the device which produces the DC current, that is direct current, is known as DC generator. The current which is supplied to our homes is alternating current and its frequency is 50 Hz. There are many advantages of using AC. Its first most and the most important advantage is that it can be transmitted to different places and far off places with minimum loss, and it is much cheaper. Means in comparison to AC and DC, AC is cheaper and AC generators are also cheaper. Next, AC can be converted to DC by using devices termed as rectifiers. Next, AC can be increased and decreased. Means AC voltage can be increased and decreased by using the device termed transformers. Transformers increase the voltage are termed as step-up transformers, and the transformers which decrease the AC voltage are termed as step-down transformers. But there are many disadvantages of using AC. Its first most disadvantage is that it is very dangerous to work with AC, because AC current is a current whose value changes with the passage of time, while DC current does not changes its value with the passage of time. As we have studied many chemical processes like electroplating, in electricity we have studied electroplating. It uses the primary cells as we have discussed. So it is a source of DC current. Means the processes which we study always utilizes DC current. That is for this chapter.